My fellow core hounds, finally, it has happened. Our darkest days are upon us. Truly, an evil which knows no bounds exists in our world. If you didn't guess already, it's time for a first look at Chromie.
Hi, we meet again.
Great. Hey everybody, John here. We're gonna take a first look at Chromie, and I'm actually kind of excited about it. I'm gonna hit try as soon as possible, because if you leave it on the screen too long, Chromie says something, and it's really annoying. I don't like gnomes. This has been well documented, and as much as I'm tempted to just play on the fell skin to deal with it, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna show Chromie, dang it. I'm committed to it. So, like any other time I'm doing a first look, I am completely fresh to this character. I have not touched her at
This is gonna
all.
be so exciting.
Nothing. So, here I am on Poverty Horse. Let's find out what Chromie's all about. I have watched the video, so I've got a basic idea of what she does, but, you know, let's find out for real. Join me, won't you? So let's take a look at her abilities first. So, Sandblast, 1 second delay, fire a missile, deals damage, first enemy hero hit. Does not work on anything but enemy heroes, so no such luck on towers or anything of that nature. So we're not really going to be able to look at much with it prior to getting Arthas out here. I'll give this to Chromie. She's kind of cute, running around. She's got a funny little run. That's okay, I guess. It's not awful. Her W, Dragon's Breath. Alright, big radius on that. Fire Blast into the air, lands after 1.5 seconds. Dealing damage, enemies cannot see where the blast will land. So we can queue it up. And there is no indicator for them that that's where it's going to land. They get no warning whatsoever. It's kind of cool. Time Trap. Place a time trap that arms and stealths after 2 seconds. First enemy hero to touch it will be put into stasis for 2 seconds. Only one trap at a time. So, in theory, you want to put it somewhere where we suspect our man Arthas will be. Once that's up, it's stealth, so he can't see it. He will stumble right into our trap. Let's go ahead and toggle minions. Let's get some minions out here, so we can actually do some fighting a little bit before we start looking at talents. Look at that! Totally worked. And look at that. Weird delay is already making moves kind of difficult. But that's alright. That's what they're there for. Ooh. Arthas is mad. He is not a happy man. Get out of here, Arthas. Nobody likes you. So it seems like a big part of her kit is going to be timing. Getting timing down on things. Happy to show off that I totally still nailed that that blast as he ran away. He has not fallen for that little trap, though.
First blood.
He did, however, fall for that old blunder. The old gnome behind the tree blunder, Arthas. Alright. So this seems pretty cool. I kind of like this kit so far. Oh, and then he ran into that one. Alright. And let's show a grand example of terrible timing. I'm actually not bad typically at leading characters, but the 1 and 1.5 second delay is pretty significant as far as delays go. So it can actually be a little bit tricky to time. Ah! Just missed. Come here, Arthas. Gosh dang it. Look at him just putzing around. Stop it. You're making me look really bad in front of the stream. There we go. Got him. Not that any human being would ever do exactly that. Alright. I kind of like the delay, though. It presents a challenge. It presents a unique challenge that I'm actually, not gonna lie, really enjoying. Makes for a good bit of fun. Makes you feel real bad when you whiff, though. I guess we are technically playing against a new Arthas, right? Oh, new Arthas is crazy with the jukes. He knows what to do. He didn't dodge that one, though. Aha! Got him! Aha! I was way too late on reacting to getting him. Okay. I should probably look at talents, but I'm not gonna lie. This is just a fun little challenge. I think in a lot of ways I might enjoy this character almost at a base level simply from presenting a very unique and interesting kind of challenge. Ooh. Just hit. And just missed. Where is he? Got him. Because that's gonna feel really rewarding. That's super cool, actually. So, I'm digging this so far. So, alright, let's do this. I'm going to just go ahead and pick some talents because I want to play with her heroics first. So let's do Temporal Loop first because that's the one that I had the most questions about how exactly it's going to work. So I hit Arthas with it. Okay. So it pulls him back to wherever he is at the time that I start the temporal loop. So in theory, set it there, and I know he's going to be there, so I can start trying to drop houses and stuff on top of him and do a whole heck of a lot of damage. He's going to just keep dodging me. Alright. That was honestly the biggest thing I was slightly confused about was exactly how that was going to work. Because in the video, they kept showing them in weird places and all of that, so... Alright, so the other one is this Slowing Sands. And that goes until we cancel it. So in theory, we can put that someplace, like back there. Do a bunch of damage to Arthas, hopefully. Get him trapped, and then we can mop him up. That seems super useful. And it doesn't seem like it actually uses a whole lot of mana, although that could be because I have toggle cooldowns down. Is this actually using mana? Yeah, it seems to be. Alright. So, let's turn that back off. Let's reset talents. And let's, fresh forts, all that. And let's see if we can figure out some talents. So, level 1 talent. After hitting 25 heroes with Sandblast, increase its damage by 100. That seems super cool. You don't get anything until you've gotten it, but that seems significant at that point. Every time Dragon's Breath hits a hero, increase its damage by 2 up to 50. If you've done it 25 times, increase its damage by an additional 150. Now also increase your sight radius. That seems super cool, because it seems a little bit... I don't know. I don't know which one actually seems easier to hit. They both present challenges. Gather a regeneration globe, increase your mana regen. After 15 globes, you gain 5% ability power. Activate to reveal the targeted area. Alright. For now, let's go ahead and take deep breathing. Although I suspect it's going to be easier to hit with the sands. The sand blast, anyway. My thought behind doing this dragon one is that at least I get a passive bonus in the meantime. I have something rather than just keep hoping for nothing. There we go. Already got one. Quest talent already in progress. Alright.
Oh no.
Level
That's
3.
definitely gonna cause a paradox.
Sandblast will now hit the first 2 heroes in its path. That's interesting. Increase your basic attack range by 35%. Using Sandblast increases the damage of your next basic attack by 250. And increases Dragon's Breath radius by 25%. Well, if we're gonna try and buff that, I feel like that's almost a mandatory talent at that point. Probably should have actually aimed that before I shot it, but, you know, you do what you do. That's a wicked combo there. I really like it. Really like it a lot. Of course, we got an Arthas that's just melting face here. And with this increased radius, I can hit almost an entire creep wave. So that's helping with their wave clear. I feel like that's very strong as well. Reduce Dragon's Breath mana cost and cooldown by 50%, but also reduce its damage by 25%. Dragon's Breath does 25% more damage to enemies in the center. And reduce Time Trap's cooldown by 50%. After the stasis ends, the enemy is also slowed. Alright, so obviously I'm leaning these two. Fire more, but for less damage, but we will also technically be getting more damage once it is buffed. Which, that part sounds pretty good. This is a tough choice, this particular talent. I'm sure I could look at the numbers and actually decide where to land on this. I think I'm going to take that. Seems like a good way to go. That's a quick cooldown too. And it's not like it's not doing any damage. It's still basically clearing a wave when it hits. So I kind of like that, actually. I'm kind of all for that here. Slowing Sands, I think, is a good route to go. So it looks like when they're in the time trap, they're invulnerable. You can't hit them while they're actually frozen in the stasis, it would seem. Oh, I whiffed that pretty bad. Yeah, and this doesn't seem to be using up too much mana, really. In fact, her default mana regen seems to be staving it off mostly. Initially. So that's pretty good. Where are we at? It doesn't say. I know they added something to it to where you could keep track of it, but I don't remember what it is. It's just this little bar down there. Anyway. Reduce Hearthstone cast time. Interesting. By how much? 75%. And not interruptible. That's a good way to get out of jail free. Increases Sandblast and Dragon Breath's range by 25%. That's useful. Stasis and gain invulnerability. I mean, I feel like if we're going to be a damage caster, we should be a damage caster. And she is going to work very effectively by being surprise damage, which you only get to be surprise damage if you can be considerably far away when you're dealing that damage. So I do like that. Hitting an enemy with Sandblast increases your ability power by 10% for the next 10 seconds. This bonus can be stacked up to 50%. Duration is refreshed whenever you damage enemy heroes with Sandblast. If Sandblast travels at least 75% of its base distance and hits a hero, its cooldown is reduced by 1 second. And activate to increase ability power for 25 by 25% for 10 seconds. Feel like that is going to be the strongest choice, though probably not the easiest one. Yeah, I gotta be careful on that stasis. You wanna wait. Got him.
Rather entertaining.
Man, that extra range is just nuts. I like it a lot. It's a real good range. And, considering this one can actually do some siege damage, makes her a real threat back here in Siege Land. Throw a little trap in case they come for you. Ooh. Arthas is mad. Well, now he's dead. Alright.
If it's
So.
any consolation, you'll be alive again soon.
Removes Slowing Sand's mana cost and increases the slow from 50% to 70%. Does that remove just the... Oh, so that's completely gone. It is now completely free. After casting Sandblast, leave an echo of yourself behind. The next time you cast Sandblast, the echo casts an untalented Sandblast that does 50% damage. You gain 3 charges of Time Trap and can have 3 active at once. When your cooldown finishes, you gain 3 charges at once. and then Temporal Loop hits all enemy heroes near your initial target. At its base level, I'm actually not completely on board with any of these. None of these sound particularly strong. Oh, I think we got our quest done. Crafty, Arthas. Crafty. It's like he knew. So he's not supposed to be able to see this, but he's making moves that strongly suggest otherwise. The crafty Menethil. Ah, he didn't get away from that one, did he? Alright.
If it's any consolation, you'll be alive again soon.
So, let's try past and future me. Let's see how that works. So we do that. Now we've got another little me there. So it seems like the kind of thing you do want to try to time. It definitely feels like a trick shot, but it at least gives multiple things that they now have to dodge. And that seems okay.
Your time just ran out.
Oh, mana's definitely getting low. I didn't even realize I still had that slow going.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
Well, that wipes out all of that. Yeah, it's really hard to, it's really hard to say what exactly is the best. I still think deep breathing is probably the better way to go. Let's maybe change a few of these around. Gotcha, Arthas. Yeah, bastard.
A killing blow.
Now that middle eye for the extra damage is pretty small, but I'm now no longer nerfing the damage, but now the cooldown feels real long. And I think the likelihood of people letting you lock them right in the most damaging version of that spell seems rather unlikely. I think it's going to be a little bit tricky to fully time. It does seem cool though, but I really like that reduced cooldown. And did it also reduce the mana cost?
Choose a talent.
Let's see.
Oh, I love that talent.
Radius. Yeah, reduces the mana cost as well, which is very, very nice. So I'm really liking how that's feeling. Let's go ahead and select Temporal Loop, just so we have something different here. Hey, leave me alone, Arthas. Can't you see I'm looking at talents here, man? It's super rude. Man, he is just dodging everything.
That was rather entertaining.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun talent to use. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Untouchable.
Terrific choice.
I don't know if I love her level 20s. So far, I'm not really in love with any of them. But I kind of like all of her other talents. So, you can do a lot worse.
Enemy slain.
That really wrecked him.
Everything worked out.
Yeah, getting the timing on how long it takes for the bolt to cast versus when you need to fire your crap is going to be an interesting little trick to figure out.
Enemy slain.
Sorry, but
I also don't know why mana seems to be a bigger issue this go-round. I'm definitely taking the talents that shouldn't make it as big of a deal. Yep, he walked right past it. Now, one thing I bet you could do is if I threw the little... So yeah, that's an interesting little combo you can actually do. It's a little weird, I guess. Let me toggle cooldown so I can kind of show what I'm talking about here. So you can drop one of these little clocks there, and when you do, they seem to just want to run away from it. Looks like they can also damage it, so they could probably just destroy it. This might not be effective. But I was gonna say, you can always put them on the little loop, which would pull them back into it. But Arthas does his little AoE thing, and I think that's gonna negate it. So never mind. John's crazy theory, completely gone. Not valid.
Well done.
The cool thing about the dragon when they're running away is because they don't get to see a warning of it. Oh yeah, right. That doesn't do siege damage. Should probably not try to siege with it. But because they don't get any warning about where it's going to hit, you're usually going to be, it would seem, pretty safe to run away with it. or they're not likely to try and dodge it as they're running, because they don't know it's coming. He doesn't know that's about to fall on him, in theory. The computer does know, but old Arthas didn't know.
Entertaining.
If it's any consolation,
I will say hitting 25 heroes with this thing is not
Of the storm.
necessarily an easy task. I don't know about in the scope of a game, you know, how long that's going to take. But it's definitely going to be a skill you're going to want to practice at. Oh, I have cooldowns toggled. I was gonna say, it feels like I have all these moves a lot. That's because cooldowns are toggled. Alright. Well, you know what? I like everything about that. I think this is a really, really fun kit for this character. You know, I hate to call it a build before I've really looked at all the talents, but, you know, if mana's an issue, I might consider Time Walker's Pursuit. I don't know if I would take Peer into the Future. It sounds like that would reveal potentially like a Nova or Zeratul, which might be okay. But I really like this deep breathing here, and I think if you're taking that, you know, maybe a argument could be made for some of the others, but I feel like if you are going in there and you're going to buff it, you should buff it, except for here where I really like the nerf to it. Either one of the heroics seem really good. I want to see how fast this Hearthstone is. I've been very curious about that.
that's right. Magnificent.
That's fast. That's a real fast Hearthstone if you need to get out of dodge quick. You know what? Let's refresh forts.
Oh, I need to be somewhere else.
Even taking tower shots, I can get back to my base before then. That's quick. What talent tree is that on? Oh, but that's increasing the range. Man, that's a hard thing to let go of. That increased range is super nice. I really like that range, but man, that fast hearth is cool.
To make
It almost removes the necessity for, you know, if a team fight goes bad, hey guys, I'll just be right back. It just takes me 1 second. That's super quick. I don't know. I think there could be a strong argument for that. I don't really like any of her level 20s. They're okay. But man, that Hearthstone. Look at it. Look at it. It's so quick. I mean, you still got travel time back out onto the map, so it is still removing you from the fight for a good chunk of time. She certainly does not have a global presence, especially if you're not going to increase the range on her abilities, which we're sacrificing. So, the increased range I would think would be useful on 100% of the fights, whereas the Hearthstone would be useful a lot of the time, but not in all the fights. This is tough. But I guess that's where everybody can get in and explore and decide what they think sounds best. I'm sure there are going to be people that like this little sandblast more than anything else, so, you know, to people who that's their ability, they'll probably buff that more than I did, which was not a lot at all. Alright, we're going to call that a first look at Chromie. We're going to do what we always do, go out on a dance, And yeah, we look forward to when Chromie actually comes out. I'm on board with the gnome. Never thought I'd say it.